I wish there was some way to outwardly show people that you're an INFJ or introvert, so they didn't just come up to you and bother you when you wanted some solitude. Hello, everyone. My name's David. This is INFJ Writer. I look as if though I'm dressed for late fall, but I'm not. It's May, and I live in a frozen wasteland. So it's actually just kind of like freezing and gross out today. I asked my home wiretap device, I'm not going to call it by its name so it doesn't talk to me, what the weather was going to be like today, and it said, expect dreary weather. I'm like, oh, thanks. Thanks so much. Anyway, in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about introversion, being an introvert, and a couple things just about, what it's like living life as one of those internal people. So if you're watching this, you probably know already what an introvert is and what an extrovert is, and most likely you're an introvert in the comfort of your own home, watching YouTube videos and not being out there in the world where there's people that you might run into that you know at like 7 a.m. at the grocery store. It's the worst. Introvert, extrovert. So as an extrovert, you get your energy and you feel your gas tank is full, so to speak, when you're out and about in the social world and talking to people and hanging out and having a good time and chatting over coffee and, usually with more than one person, things along those nature. Group activities are great for you. You don't mind sharing details. You don't mind getting yourself out there and all that kind of stuff. For an introvert, all of that is horrifying and scary. We'll do this by making a small list. 3 things. 3 facts about introversion that are, well, they're ones that are kind of the most impactful for me, at least. Fact number 1. When you're an introvert, for me, INFJ, you have to understand that your brain works in a certain way. Other people will try to make you conform to that more accepted way of living. You know, what's wrong? Why don't you want to go out? Why don't you want to do this? Why don't you want to do that? You just want to stay in your house? Like, yeah, damn right I want to stay in my house. It's nice here. There's no people. It's great. I love it. All the time. For introverts, we get our energy this way by having some solitude and having some peace, allowing our heads this space to imagine and grow the way it does without all of that outside interference. Those things exhaust us. It's like running a marathon sometimes when we're out and about with, with maybe a dozen people or something like that, like some kind of a work function or party, things along those lines. Tires us out. It tires out our head, and it just drains us of all energy. So in order for an introvert to go out into the world and actually be able to function in a reasonable way and have some success, we need to give ourselves that space and time with some solitude and say, okay, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to be by myself. It's going to be glorious. I'm going to turn things off, turn off everything, and just sort of have some internal time where I can do whatever the hell I want to do. Have a cup of coffee, read a book or play some video games or whatever else that lets me sort of be in my own little world without any kind of external stimulation. So that's the first one. Don't be ashamed of being an introvert. It's how you work. And I think there has been a stigma about introversion lately, and it's going away more and more. Now it's kind of becoming the hip thing to be an introvert or say you're an introvert. And I'm like that old person, just get off of my lawn, I've been an introvert for much longer than you have, and all that kind of stuff. The second thing to keep in mind about introverts is that we are not antisocial. Just because I'm an introvert does not mean that I'm in the basement of my house and all of the windows are shuttered and there's blankets over everything and I haven't left in a few days and I keep jars of my own urine, aside because I don't want to go anywhere, leave the house, my plumbing doesn't work, and I'm actually just writing my manifesto before I go ahead and destroy some kind of town or something. Just because I like private time and solitude doesn't mean that I don't want any interaction at all with people. Maybe there's something else going on in the noggin if you're doing that with jars of your own stuff around. It's not a healthy thing. The thing is, for our interactions, we typically prefer it one-on-one or one-on-two or small groups, people that we know and we're close to. We don't have those giant circles of friends where there's 20 different people we could be texting at any given time and we're spilling all the details of our life to all of them. Not really introvert behavior, and if you do that, you're not an I. Small group of friends. Very, very small. I have like 2 friends, 3 friends. I don't have a lot. It's just a really small group of people that you tend to have very close to you. And those are the people that you trust and you build that way. And a lot of times they're the ones that best understand that sometimes you need to just not for a while. The third thing is that there are some things that as an introvert, we really hate to hear. I'm going to give you a couple that I just absolutely despise. The first one is a total no-brainer. It's the following words. Hey everyone, why don't we go around the room and you can tell everybody a little bit about yourself? Please don't ever do that. Don't ever do that to me. That's the worst icebreaker in the universe. It's horrifying for introverts to be put in that situation. I cringe. Every time that happens, I just want to run away. I don't know anybody there, and these are a bunch of extroverts anyway, and while you guys are great, I don't understand it. So I would much rather not go ahead and just spill some details about myself to a bunch of random strangers. You don't need to know where I work, what I do, what my goals and dreams are. And anyway, I just hate surface level conversation as it is. All of that kind of stuff to me is just nonsense. Another thing that I hate to hear as an introvert, I'll call you. Please don't. I won't answer. I don't answer my doorbell. I don't answer a knock on the door. I don't answer my phone ever when somebody calls, unless it's like, okay, so the wife is calling and her name comes up. And even then, sometimes I'm like, okay, yes, I'll answer it. I'm sorry. But a lot of times if somebody's like, I'm going to call you, it's like, well, that's great. You're basically making an appointment to speak to voicemail. And then I'm not even going to call my voicemail because that stresses me out. I'm going to go ahead and look at the transcript of it and see if it got it right and I can understand what you're doing. Then I'll text you. I think as an introvert, we all need, I need some kind of thing that just says, actually a business card. Not even a business card, just like a personal card. It's got my name, it's got my phone number, and it says on there, text, don't call. Ever. Don't ever call me. I don't even know why I have a phone. Can you get a phone where you can just text, like there's no number? Maybe I'll do that. Actually sounds kind of nice. In the situation where somebody does text me and they don't call right off the bat is when the text just says, can we talk? No. So there you have it, folks. A couple things as an introvert that you sort of need to know about us. First one, you're an introvert, and if you are one, don't be ashamed of it. It's okay. And find the people, the friends, and people that you know that understand that. I have quite a few friends that, even though we're not close, they'll understand that I need some space and time, and they know that they shouldn't be too pushy on my personal space that way. And if they're your friend, set that clear boundary. Say, look, I like you, and we can hang out and stuff, and we can do things, but sometimes I need you to just not. If you could just not with me, that'd be great. Remember also, we're not antisocial. I like people, and people are great. I need social interaction. I just like it on a really small one-to-one basis over a cup of coffee and some deep, meaningful conversation. That's the best. What I don't like is one-on-one when it's, oh, tell me how you are. Tell me everything about what you're doing right now. And please don't try to draw those things out of me. You don't look so good. Are you feeling okay? Is something wrong? I think something's wrong with it. Oh my gosh, no. Please don't have those conversations with me. Those are the worst. And remember things that you don't like as an introvert, right? Those texts that say, can we talk? Or that, hey, let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. Anyway, I hope that hits on a couple things. Maybe you can understand introverts a little bit better if you're watching this and you aren't one, though I doubt that's happening. And maybe if you are an introvert and you're watching this and you're like, you know what? Speak the truth, dude. Speak the truth. Until next time. Good.